We're speaking with Niccie Kliegl. Let's start by first offering our audience a little wide over range of what it is that you do to bring to the program today.
All right. I am a life coach and a spiritual coach, and basically I'm an author, coach, and speaker, and I help individuals and organizations really get to the bottom of their purpose, life purpose, maybe their purpose at work, mission, vision, and value sort of thing, and then get to this place where they're really empowered by the work they do and the relationships they have and the health that they're in.
You're going to talk a little bit about being perfectly imperfect and how that affects us. Give us a little more.
I think this is such a great topic because truly I coach many people just for this topic, but a lot of people start out with different things, maybe job goals that they're working on, and these things come up. So perfectly imperfect affects us all. I like to kind of start people off by realizing that there's reasons why. It just doesn't happen by accident. There's nothing wrong with us. And the three camps that I find when I'm working with people are that they either have had a life incident that really affected them. Otherwise, they really did well with self-love and feeling like their self-esteem is in a good place and they're, so to speak, perfect. But divorce, a job loss, something that really flipped their world upside down. So a life event would be one. The second thing is usually people that I deal with that have had an upbringing maybe that was critical or maybe emotional abuse throughout their life, could be at work or wherever, but that just slowly has picked away at their self-worth and how perfect they may or may not feel. And we don't like that term perfect, but it's a training I do called Perfectly Imperfect. And the last one is just this worldly standards that we can get sucked into where, the magazines and the peers and the environment around us makes us feel like we got to look and act like everyone else. And so those three things are kind of the big thing.
Once you identify which one of those three things is the root of not feeling that you're perfect in your imperfection, how do you go about changing that mindset then?
All my coaching that I do, because it's life and spiritual coaching, I alter it depending on if I'm in the secular world, if I'm really doing my own coaching in my home and stuff. But I have this, consider what the problem is. We just did that. Consider what the word is. So we look to what the word, the Bible tells us. Consider what the gift is, what we get out of that if we do it. And then last, we always look at what the choice is. And everything that I do goes in that way. So when I'm doing my life coaching, that's spiritual coaching, we look at, okay, what does the word say? And the truth is that you are perfect in God's eyes. And the truth is that you are loved and all your imperfections count. So 1 John 4:19 is the one that says, because you are loved, then we are able to love. I mean, it's written right there that we are able to love other people because we are loved. When we start trying to get it from the world and we try to get it from other people, we fall short and it's hard to give back. But if we can just focus on our place with God, that really helps. The second one is Psalms 139:13-16, and I love this because there's three key points. And that is, He is the craftsman of all craftsmen, and He made us. Do we really think that God, if we're believers, do we really think that God screwed up? Well, of course not. And the second thing is that He knit us in just so, and I like to help people understand this in the way of so many of our imperfections come from our genetics. I mean, He knows who our fathers and our fathers' fathers before us and on are, but with those generations came things, hard things like mental illness or many other complex things. And the last thing is, in this verse, it says, all this needs to sit right with our soul. All right, so now do I have time to go on to the gift if we believe and buy into this and live in this?
I'll give you just a real quick minute if you can.
Okay. Yep, okay, so then the gift is really that you have almost programmed your mind to be thinking on these things, and the last part of thinking on positive things, Philippians 4:8, is whatever is noble and true and right and praiseworthy. After that, then the last verse that nobody speaks of is that you will receive peace in who you are. And I love that. So then bottom line is this little nudge that I want to live everyone. Whenever I speak on one of these shows, I want to nudge everyone to do one thing, and that's to make a choice. And so if we are to fill our mind, like Philippians 4:8, with everything good and noble, we've got to get ourselves around. Our brain only has so much space in one day. So get yourself around some positive music. Your channel does a great job. Fill yourself with podcasts that are going to infuse positive, healthy, right thinking into your mind. Surround yourself with friends and family that do this. influence you in a positive way. And hey, you're gonna leave a little room for you to start thinking of the world and negative things, and that can make a huge difference on your self-esteem and how you feel yourself as perfectly imperfect.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, Niccie. I would like to also maybe encourage our listeners to learn a little more. Knowledge is power. Do you have a website, or is there a way that they can contact you if they have any questions, or some way they can look up more of this information?
Yeah, thank you so much. So the best way is to go to Niccie Kliegl Facebook page. It's Niccie Kliegl, and there's two of them, my personal and my Fulfill Your Legacy. My company name is Fulfill Your Legacy. So go there, and every day I have a positive blog that comes out and will give you much insight. My website has a gob of free tools. When you pop up there, sign up for all of my free resources. I share everything. I don't want to keep anything. So it's NiccieKliegl.com, NiccieKliegl.com.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and for everyone listening, join us again for another edition of Doctor in the House on 93.9 KSOU.